Ready for a deep dive into a life story? This one really shows how much one person can handle. We're talking about Perseverance, The Bridge to a Latina Mother's Dream by Iris V. Fernandez. Even as a kid in the 70s, get this, Iris was called a math prodigy.
It's amazing how those early interests can kind of hint at where someone's life will go.
Right.
Her family would even ask her to count in Spanish when she was just a baby.
Wow.
Like they were encouraging that love for numbers from the very beginning.
It's like they knew that strength in math would be so important later on. Because, let's be honest, her teenage years, they were a whole other story.
Definitely.
She falls head over heels, gets married young, becomes a teen mom. Have you ever felt that pressure, those expectations from society, especially as a young person?
Totally.
Iris's story really shows what that was like, especially for young Latina women back in the 1970s.
Absolutely. It's overwhelming to even think about all those expectations from family, the limited opportunities, societal norms, everything sort of crashing together.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how those same pressures, maybe in different forms, could have shaped your own life.
And Iris's story makes that so real. Picture this. Teenage Iris washing cloth diapers in this, dimly lit apartment.
Oh, wow.
And meanwhile, her friends are all out at prom. Talk about a different reality.
It's huge contrast.
But this is where you see her resilience. She picks herself up, finds work, gets public assistance, and earns her GED. She even visualizes the exact score she wants on that GED exam.
No way.
And she gets it.
That's incredible, that detail about visualizing her score. That's not just chance. Imagine the kind of self-discipline it took to hold on to that goal while dealing with all of the challenges of being a young mother. We're talking about real mindset here, something we could all stand to learn from. It also makes you think differently about public assistance, especially for women of color.
Right.
Iris doesn't see it as a handout. To her, it's a bridge, just temporary support to help her reach her dreams.
Speaking of bridges, get this. She sets her sights on Long Island University,
Oh.
a private university with just a GED.
Seriously.
And guess what? She got in.
It's like a movie. What are the chances? But it just goes to show opportunities can show up when you least expect them. Her experience as a non-traditional student, raising a child on her own while going to school, it's something a lot of people can relate to.
Absolutely.
The self-doubt, the juggling act, but then that feeling when you actually overcome it all.
So inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes you think, have you ever had a time in your life when you defied expectations, surprised even yourself? We're just getting started with Iris's story. She's at LIU, finding her way, even takes a drama class.
Oh, really?
And she lands a part as a Cuban refugee juror, and get this, she uses her mother's accent.
Wow, that's great.
But remember that warning on her wedding day about Elle, her husband, being a liar?
Yeah.
Well, that was just the beginning. Their relationship takes a dark turn. We're talking domestic violence.
It's a heavy part of the story, but the memoir is sensitive about it. It focuses on what Iris is feeling, the emotional and psychological impact, rather than the really difficult details.
Right.
But it brings up something important. Leaving an abusive relationship isn't easy. It's a process. And asking for help, that takes incredible strength, not weakness.
And Iris shows so much strength in what she does next. She makes this brave decision to get out of New York, takes her 2 kids, and they board a train to New Haven. A fresh start. Wow. It's a scene full of uncertainty, but you can feel that hope, that chance for a better life. And this is where she starts to rebuild. She finds a new community at Southern Connecticut State University, gets involved with OLAS, pledges Alpha Kappa Alpha, and you can just feel her finding her footing again.
It's amazing how certain things can bring out these talents you didn't know you had. She becomes treasurer of OLAS. And guess what? She finds out she's good with budgets, especially after a little liquid courage.
No way.
That detail about the wine before presenting.
That's hilarious.
It makes her relatable. It reminds us that even when things are tough, finding moments of humor, being ourselves is so important.
I love that. And you know what's coming next week, right? We're diving into the thick of it. Iris's academic journey, tough professors, and a whole new set of obstacles. Let's just say you don't want to miss the Queen of Mean incident. Seriously.
So last week, we left Iris finding her place at a new university, getting involved in student life, even tapping into some hidden talents.
Right.
But her journey, it's not over yet.
Not even close.
This is the early 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
Forget Google Scholar. Iris is in the library digging through those actual stacks of books for research.
Oh.
paying for every photocopy. Can you imagine the dedication on top of classes, motherhood, a part-time
It
job?
really makes you appreciate how easy we have it now.
Right, for sure.
It's like she's in a completely different world just to get through school.
Yeah.
And just when you think things are looking up, she injures her right hand. Her writing hand. Talk about bad timing. She needs some kind of help for this psychology exam that's coming up. And that's when she runs into the infamous Queen of Mean.
Oh, no. I've heard about this.
This professor, let's just say, isn't known for being understanding.
What happens?
So Iris explains her situation, and the professor actually says, and I quote, "Try breaking your arm and being in a cast for a year. You have no choice but to learn to write with your left hand."
Seriously?
Can you believe that?
Ah.
I would have been fuming. But Iris, you know her, she finds that inner strength. Instead of wasting time trying to fight the decision, she just takes care of it herself.
What'd she do?
She goes home and teaches herself to write with her left hand.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's a small thing, but it says so much about her. She takes this obstacle, this really unfair situation, and turns it into a way to learn a new skill. And, thinking about it, that skill probably came in handy as a nurse. Makes you wonder what challenges in your own life have actually given you some unexpected strengths.
That's a good point. Sometimes the hardest things make us stronger in ways we don't expect.
It's that make-it-work attitude for sure. But that Queen of Mean situation, it shows a bigger problem too. Back then, the system wasn't set up to support students like Iris. Non-traditional students, there wasn't much understanding or flexibility.
It makes you wonder how many people just gave up because the system seemed rigged against them.
Right. It's disheartening.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring to see how determined Iris was to prove them wrong. But even with all that drive, there's a point where even the strongest people stumble.
We're all human.
She ends up failing a crucial nursing course because she gets hit with a really bad cold.
Oh, no.
And for a minute, it feels like that's it, the final straw. Have you ever felt that? That feeling of being totally defeated when everything you've poured your heart and soul into just falls apart.
Totally. We've all been there. It's like you question everything. But, it's moments like that when having a mentor can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
And Iris, she has this amazing mentor, someone who sees how much potential she has, who believes in her even when she doubts herself.
That's so important.
This mentor encourages her to talk to the new dean of nursing, a really compassionate woman who actually listens.
It's a good reminder that even in these rigid systems, there are good people who are willing to bend the rules to see the human side of things.
Right. And not treat you like just a number.
Exactly. And that's what this new dean does. She gives Iris a chance to plead her case to the school board.
No way, like a real appeal.
To potentially get back into the program.
Wow, that's a long shot. But I love that she had someone in her corner fighting for her.
Me too. So last week, we left off with Iris getting this incredible chance, this lifeline really, to plead her case to the school board.
Talk about a high-stakes meeting. It makes you think about the power of speaking your truth, even when it feels impossible.
Absolutely. And Iris, she takes that chance and she runs with it. She tells the board everything, her struggles, her dedication to becoming a nurse, and she holds nothing back. And get this, they listen.
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right? They actually hear her. They see her not just as a name on a file, but as a person with dreams and the drive to achieve them. And the best part, they reinstate her into the nursing program.
Oh my gosh, I have chills. What a moment.
It's like the universe was giving her a second chance, a chance she definitely deserved.
And talk about resilience. It would have been so easy to just give up at that point, but she keeps going.
She's like a force of nature. But, and you knew there was going to be a but, right? Just as she's back in the program, another hurdle pops up.
What happened?
Remember how she's been working part-time at the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, she ends up losing her job. It had to do with some conflict with public assistance regulations.
Oh, no, not those systemic hurdles again.
It's frustrating, right? She's almost at the finish line, but she's back at square one, trying to figure out how to pay for her last semester. Talk about hitting a wall.
It's heartbreaking, but it's a situation that so many people can relate to. Sometimes, even when you think you're doing everything right, life throws you a curveball.
Exactly. But this is where something really incredible happens, like something out of a movie. Iris runs into a former instructor, just by chance, and he's furious when she tells him what happened. He sees how unfair it all is and decides to step up.
Get out of here. I love these moments when someone steps up like that. It restores your faith in humanity.
Doesn't it? So this instructor, he goes straight to the financial aid office and basically demands they help her.
No way. What did they say?
I know, right? It's amazing. And guess what? The financial aid office actually finds a way. They give her a scholarship from, are you ready for this? The Women of the War of 1812.
You're kidding. Seriously, that's incredible.
It's like this amazing connection to history. These women who fought for change centuries ago are now playing a part in helping Iris reach her dreams. I get chills just thinking about it.
It's almost like their legacy of strength is being passed down. It gives me goosebumps.
And Iris, being Iris, she perseveres. She graduates from nursing school with her friends and mentors by her side, packs up her belongings, her 2 kids, and heads back to New York City, ready to start her new career. What a journey.
Her story is a powerful reminder that no matter what obstacles we face, with enough determination and support, we can achieve amazing things. It's a testament to the human spirit.
Absolutely. It's not about avoiding the challenges or expecting a smooth path. It's about digging deep and finding that inner strength to keep moving forward, even when things get tough.
And sometimes it's about accepting a helping hand when it's offered.
That too. Iris's story is a reminder that even in the toughest times, there's always hope. And sometimes that hope comes from the most unexpected places. If you're looking for a story that will challenge you, inspire you, and leave you with a renewed sense of hope, Perseverance. The Bridge to a Latina Mother's Dream is a must-read. It's a story that will stay with you long after you finish the last page. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into a truly inspiring life. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, never underestimate the power of your own perseverance.
And never be afraid to ask for help when you need it.